Oh, the humanity, Lando Norris. You know, as far as Lando's concerned, sometimes it's hard to see where the line between coping and delusion stops and starts. I love me some Lando Norris. I think he's a brilliant driver. He's proven himself well capable this year. Probably more capable than I even thought he was in the first instance. But this line, as far as Lando Norris' trajectory and his ability to win world championships going forward, is an important one. This conversation is super important because hearing Lando Norris after the race yesterday, after the demolition that was Max Verstappen's drive, I'm still not sure whether this dude is delusional or just using this to cope. Here's what Lando Norris had to say post-race about Max Verstappen's drive. God tier, generational drive. Lando Norris said this: "It's not talent, it's just luck." What are we doing, Lando? I think he's moved very firmly from coping into delusion there. There is no way that Lando Norris can characterise Max Verstappen's drive yesterday as just luck. Was there good fortune in there? Of course there was, as far as the timing of the safety car, the Franco Colapinto induced safety car. But as far as just luck, only luck, you've got to be having a luck. This is delusion now. This is unconscious incompetence now, Lando. Willful negligence. There is no way with a straight face, in good faith, you can characterise Max Verstappen's race yesterday as just luck. Chap, did you see? What are we doing here? The dude was as near as makes no difference. Perfect for 69 laps. 17 best laps. Almost back to back to back. Purple sectors each and every single time, making no mistakes, putting the move up Esteban Ocon where there was no grip, on a surface, on a track that's been newly resurfaced where there's only one racing line, nailing Esteban Ocon off the race restart as if it were nothing, making overtakes on 16 others when the other 19 are struggling to keep it on track, let alone pull overtaking minute. Lando Norris, for the avoidance of doubt, sir, that's not just luck. And if we're talking about your inequities, your multitudinous inequities, which will of course ultimately cost you the 2024 championship, well, the Brazilian Grand Prix Lando no wins was a microcosm of that, because it wasn't just bad luck from your perspective, was it? It was schoolboy error central, 2 offs, Lando Norris at critical times. We've spoken ad infinitum in extremis, sir, about your inability to maintain a first position, notwithstanding the fact that you have the ability to put it on pole. How about that, Lando? How about you on the pole and you do like Oscar Piastri did only 24 hours earlier and assume an aggressively defensive posture? Do like Michael Schumacher used to, point your car at second place, telegraph your intention to defend the inside line privilege into turn 1 with your life. Lando, yet again, for the umpteenth time this year, does not do it and gets his lunch money stolen by George Russell. That, Lando Norris, is not luck. Luck, some say, is where opportunity meets preparedness, and all season long Lando Norris has been nothing if not unprepared, and it's not good enough. F1 fans all around the world are arguing now that Lando Norris doesn't deserve to win a championship in 2024 by dint of his inability to do the due diligence, unpick the details and minutiae and find lap time and therefore championship points in that. And again, the Brazilian Grand Prix was a case in point of that, evidence of that in real time. Don't believe me? Please see your as your exhibit B. How about the botched restart? What do you do then, Lando? What does it say in the rules? There were a couple of drivers on the grid that know the rules so intimately, so intrinsically, that on seeing the flashing orange light, they knew that they were due to stop, that didn't mean go. Amber does not mean go in that instance, Lando knows. Not if the rules and regs are a thing that you study and know, as you should know them, like the back of your hand. Max Verstappen stayed, he did not go. He raised the question, what are these others doing? Esteban Ocon too asked the question of his team. Flashing orange, botch start, that does not mean go. Lando Norris, though, starting from pole, knew not of that rule because he's not that guy. He's not prepared. He hasn't done his due diligence. He hasn't combed through the rules like a Sebastian Vettel used to, nor weaponized them as Max Verstappen. Max Verstappen will read through every article, every stanza, every paragraph and syllable of those rules and regs with a view to weaponize them against the other 19 on the grid, because there is lap time and driver standing points in that. That is the level at which Lando Norris needs to operate if indeed he's being honest with himself and harbours aspirations of one day winning himself a championship. In 2024, it's not going to happen. And it's not going to happen by dint of the aforementioned. A lack of preparedness. Listen, some say that winning isn't for everybody. And Max Verstappen showed us yesterday that it is not. That level of excellence, that level of attention to detail, that level of resilience and ruthlessness, the clinical nature of that victory shows and proves exactly what Lando Norris lacks as far as an adverse variance. Yeah, he's super quick, of course he is, but he lacks the attention span. Making mistakes each and every single time. The mistake off the bloody start. The mistake around the botch restart. Not even knowing the rules. This dude has a long way to go. This isn't me casting aspersions on Lando Norris. But I say for the avoidance of doubt that the line between delusion and coping can sometimes be a dotted one. A blurry one. And when Lando Norris comes out and says something as disingenuous, something as willfully negligent as it's not talent, it's just luck, Lando Norris needs to have a very firm look in the mirror, doesn't he? Because that's not disingenuous. It's not factual. It's not true. In order to become a champion one day, Lando, you need to learn some lessons from your old mate Maximilian Verstappen, because the lengths that he's ready to go to find lap time, to win championships, the ruthlessness, the resilience, the consistency, the clinical precision of some of those overtakes, that's something from which Lando and all the other drivers on the grid can learn. Indeed, they need to raise their game, because as at 2024, winning in Formula One, whilst Max Verstappen is there with that level of ruthlessness, with that very unique brand of wheel-to-wheel racecraft, winning in Formula One as at November of 2024 apparently isn't for anyone, not for everyone even. There is one driver on the grid who drives for Red Bull, who's willing to go above and beyond, dive deep, notwithstanding adversity, and do what's necessary. Pay the tax requisite to win yourself races and therefore championships. That chap has a name as at November of 2024. His name, ladies and gents, is Maximilian Verstappen.